today we are celebrating Office Extravaganza's first birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Hey, yes. Well, hello. How are you doing? You know what time it is. It's time for another quiet time session with DNC. It is true. I am still DNC. Wow. I'm actually at home. And I got my daughter to go over to, my youngest, to go over to her grandmother's house. So I could actually speak a little louder, but why break something if it's not broken? Why fix something if it's not broken? Forgive me. It's in the afternoon and my brain is almost gone. But I am super excited to do this podcast with you all today. Vlog. What are we calling these now? Video. Let's just roll with that. To you all, because today we are celebrating Office Extravaganza's first birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Hey, yes. Hopefully you follow me on my social channels. But on Saturday, April 24th, I celebrated the 1-year booksaversary. Yes, I made that word up. For Office Extravaganza, Volume 1. And I just wanted to come on here today and talk to you all, my Patreon family, because in case you have not noticed, you are the dedicators. I dedicate, yeah, no, I just said, it is the afternoon. Let these words ride with me. Just hold on for a second. It's going to come out right. I dedicated this book to you also. I dedicated both Daydreaming and Office Extravaganza to you all because last year when this pandemic hit us, I had these thoughts about wanting to release these extensions of these chapters that were in Untraditional. And if it was not for your continued support, your encouragement, your funding, I would not have gotten those books out. So thank you, and thank you. Now, let's get into this juice box. So, Office Extravaganza, as I just said, was a chapter that I pulled from Untraditional. And as I've told you before, all the stories in Untraditional, Volume 1, because there's a 2 on the way, have full novelettes or even novels. Some that I've started, some that I won't start, some that I refuse to continue on because it scares me how my mind can flow. And Office Extravaganza was actually one of those stories that was so intimidating when I was writing it because long time ago, I met this guy that I was interested in at work. And we had an opportunity to date. I was single, okay, not married. We had the opportunity to date, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this cannot happen. This is silly. Like, we can't work like this. This is crazy. So that was the inspiration for Office Extravaganza when I created it for Untraditional. Now, when I pulled it out of Untraditional, it took on a spin of its own. So let's get into it. Hopefully you read it. You have a free copy here in Patreon, so if you don't have it and haven't read it, just go back to one of the posts. Have trouble finding it, send it to me or email me at dncwrites@gmail.com and I'll send it to you because as a patron of mine, you get this book for free. And you get the next books for free and early. But Natalie has this wonderful friend. Ooh, I almost gave it has this wonderful boyfriend named John who has just been the light of her life. She actually met him at work. And even though she has these flaws, these moments in time where she really truly shows her weakness when it comes to sex, John has stuck by her through it. And one of those weak moments came when her and apparently one of her colleagues, Dora, hooked up in the office one night after happy hour. And if I didn't say this before, you gotta know there's gonna be spoilers in here. I'm come to give you the juice, okay? I'm not here to just put the straw in or give you a taste. I'm here to give you the whole juice packet, so hold on tight. So her and Dora had an incident that happened in the office, and, John found out, and yet and still he stood by Dora through it. Now, Dora, excuse me, my phone was going off. Dora is working through this, right? She's like, wow, he's the perfect man. He takes me as I am, and I, as a woman, have to grow better about it. And so as Dora continues to work, their new colleague, the person who actually replaces John, because John no longer works with her, Mark, seems to have some type of affinity for her, an infatuation. And what Natalie is attempting to do, or Nat, as we like to call her, she is attempting to not run into another obstacle, right? Particularly in the office again. And what you're assuming is that Natalie has learned her lesson. Her man has stood by her. She gets that, everything isn't easy. Temptation, skin, desire. Ooh, that thing, it can hit hard, baby, if you don't have control over yourself. And so she's thinking that she has some control. She even wants to start confiding in Dora, but she just is having that trouble, that struggle, that internal struggle. She can't figure out why. And as the book continues, and as you pick your passion, you will see, you saw the story continue to evolve in a way that Mark seems to almost start feeling like a solution, because he's so open with her. He's so transparent. He gives her ideas about how to be the best her, right? And Dora even shares with her his quote unquote, I guess you can call it side hustle, or his, what do they call that? Midnight, twilight job, whatever, moonlight, what he moonlights as, which is a sex trainer. And basically he believes that he's able to teach people how to release their inner sexual desires in a healthy way. Now, in a healthy way is in the eye of the beholder. It's in your mind, your beliefs, and your ethics. What really was a bit difficult about writing this book was to really stretch my mind from what is the normal office ethics, what are the faux pas, what are the opportunities that can happen in the office, and just dive headfirst into those situations. It was a bit scary too, because I remember right after, when I was starting getting snippets of the chapters early on, when I was originally releasing Untraditional, I remember I got a message on Twitter with this guy who was like, based on some of the language, he's like, this sounds like sexual harassment, like brushing up against each other and da-da-da. And in a normal environment, if it's unwanted, yes, absolutely it is. But I wanted to take that and take out the unwanted feeling and let it be completely within control of individuals who are in the situation. So that to me was probably one of the growing points or lessons that I learned from writing Office Extravaganza, is because I created a scene, and I actually was going to tell you my favorite scene, but I think this scene that I'm getting ready to tell you about is actually my favorite. It's the scene where Mark, they ended up working on a Saturday together. They've had a lot of back and forth, a lot of chit chat. Things are getting heated. The language is becoming more transparent. Mark is verbalizing to her on a consistent basis that he wants her. He believes in her. He believes that she wants him. He doesn't understand why there's such an issue, why they can't move forward with that. And he comes around to her desk and basically presents himself. But he doesn't push himself on her. He allows her to tell him to leave. He allows her to not touch. He allows her to be in her own comfort zone. And when Natalie actually falls into that moment with him, and it clicks, it finally clicks. I do have control. I can release so that I can be better, right? And that was probably one of my favorite scenes to write, because I wanted women to understand that even when it feels like you're out of control, you are still the powerhouse. You are still the electricity that runs the train. You are still the storm, the thunder that makes the rain come. Like, I felt like in writing Office Extravaganza, I wanted to play with that line of feeling out of control, yet understanding what's in control. And how that in control may feel like it's external, like you're getting pushed to do things. You may feel a little pressure, desires the one, but it's really in you to figure out what it is that you want to do in that moment. And you must be responsible for what it is that you're doing in that moment, which is why at the end of the book, I did leave it with a cliffhanger, because I'm coming back at you. I'm coming back at you with book 2, about her thought process of what to do now, because she remembers John. And she remembers when she was thinking about doing it, if she could be trained to master her sexual desires, it should help her and John, is what she's telling herself. But I'll give you a hint. As I continue with these other books, she's going to realize that may or may not be the truth. Right? So, teaser for book 2. In this book, we're really focused on Natalie's kind of fight or flight syndrome. Let me not say fight or flight. Flight or embrace syndrome, right? And there are people who she has felt like have played a factor in that. Dora and John are best friends. They've been best friends for years. They were best friends before Natalie and John got together. And basically, when the thing happened between Natalie and Dora, the question is, what did that do to Dora and John's relationship? Well, book 2, we learn more about how Dora plays a part in this situation. And again, I'm going to mess with you a little bit about the external factors, but it's all going to come back to Natalie. So I'm envisioning in this series of books, 2 more books possibly. I'm almost done with book 2, but I kind of want to sandwich it together with another person's point of view, which may be Mark's. But the premise of the book is entertainment. But the lesson I really want people to understand is everything that we've been taught may not be what makes us better. And when I say that is that office politics will always be office politics, and there will always be someone going against it. In this particular storyline, It's sexual desire. It's the middle finger to the no fraternization policy. It's also understanding how to accept who you really are. Sometimes who you really are isn't easy to accept, so you start falling back on these other obstacles. It's, oh, the temptation with this person, with this Dora. I'm straight, but that's what she says. That's what I'm Natalie. I'm straight, but I just want to know how it felt since Dora told me she goes both ways. Mark, oh, you know what? He may actually be able to help me because he's a trainer. He has a whole page that says it. He's probably certified. I can trust in him. I can trust in my behaviors with him. That way, I won't be worried about Dora anymore. That way, it'll be totally different. I'm going to be the best girlfriend I can be for John. And that this is just it. I'm finally going to nail it. I'm finally going to be the woman that my man needs me to be. It sounds foolish, but if you think about it, there are a lot of women I think who struggle with this. But they don't go maybe as far as Natalie's willing to go. But to each his own, right? The other thing I wanted to chat about with Office Extravaganza is, again, the same thing I did with Daydreaming, to pick your passion. And that's what kind of takes me a little bit longer to write some of these books, is because I have to, all my gaps, my nooks and crannies have to be filled before I am comfortable with releasing a book. And even though the second book is pretty much completed, I keep going back to it because I want to make sure that as you're picking your path through each one of these books, the lesson and the feelings and the world isn't lost along the way, right? There's a lot of things that are going to go on, and there are a lot of things that will come out. And a lot of this, again, it's from my head. It may have had origins a long time ago with something else, but this is all me just going against the grain of everything that I've learned in corporate America, everything that I've learned in just office ethics. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like they're still professional. You're not seeing this in the daytime in front of all these people, and it's inappropriate. It's actually behind closed doors in a particular area where people aren't supposed to be, right? So what's next? So like I said, working on Office Extravaganza 2, I already gave you a teaser. It's going to be from Dora's point of view. And the thing that I wanted people to get to know is why Dora is who Dora is in this moment. I know a lot of times when people write novelettes that people get concerned that there's not enough detail. I'm really going to hone into this moment. Some of it may give you a sneak peek into their background, their family, their own value system, but we're not going to live in there. We're going to live in a moment, because everything that you need to know about their background and their values is going to show you in the moment. And you can, the thing that I feel like is hardest for me as I continue to sharpen up some novels that I have going is not get too lost in some of those details. And I want you all to get lost in the moment of this story, the moment in this book, the characters. I want you to tell me who you like, who you don't like, who you wish you know more about. Yeah, that's coming up. Now, timeline, people, I just would love to drop all these books that are in my head within the summer range, but at least give me until the fall. My birthday is in November. I really love to drop books around my birthday and around Love Day. So just give me a little time. It's coming. I promise it's coming. But that's it. That's what I have. Again, email me at dncwrites@gmail.com with any questions you may have. Anything I didn't tell you here that you want to know more about. I'm thinking about doing a live session on IG. So, of course, if you're not following me, follow me at author_DNC. And I just want to chat it up. I may even do it on Facebook. Same page, Author DNC. But that's it, y'all. I love y'all. Like, seriously. I know it may seem like I'm not as active on Patreon, but I'm always thinking about you all. I want to give y'all exclusive content That's all I'm working on right now, giving you all exclusive content. I would love your feedback. I continually am so appreciative of your following, and more is to come. I'm telling y'all, there's so much in this head that's got to come out. So many stories, good ones, scary ones, funny ones, scripts, movies, shows, whatever the Heavenly Father, allows me to give to y'all. I'm leaving my legacy. I do want to tell you, if you're interested in getting your own content out there, whether it be a story, a book, essay, blog, please follow my new business, Her Legacy. That website is going to be herlegacymedia.com, and it's literally HER legacymedia.com. And let's talk about it. I have a team of wonderful experts, content experts, editors who love to support news stories and who want to encourage your point of view. Get your point of view out there. Nobody can see the world like you can. So we want to hear from you too. That's it. Y'all got me. Ooh, I gave y'all a long time. That was 20 minutes. Juice box, okay? I hope you're full. If you're not, just email me what else I can, maybe a shooter on the side. I don't know what else you need, but thank you all so much. Talk to you later.